Hey everyone, Chad Hasty here, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on NewsTalk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. On the Tuesday edition of the program, I addressed the budget deal, the omnibus bill that will probably be heading to President Trump's desk at some point this week to avert a government shutdown. President Trump is apparently upset because he thinks Democrats are spiking the ball and trying to claim victory over him. The White House is doing the best job they can to spin this deal and to say that this is actually a good deal for the American people. It's actually a good spending bill. And listen, Donald Trump came through on three things, which would be more money for D.C. School choice vouchers, more money for the border security, which is great, but it doesn't fund a border wall. What it does allow the president and the U.S. government to do is build higher fencing at locations that already have fencing. So you can put more fencing where we already have fencing. Don't get me wrong, that's nice. That's not what the American people voted for. And the third victory is that defense spending goes up. Good. Okay. Everything else, by the way, is a Democratic win. The White House can spin this all they want, but everything else in the spending bill is a Democratic win. When only $80 million was cut from EPA's $8 billion budget, yeah, that's a Democratic win. When Planned Parenthood is funded, that's a Democratic win. We could go through a full list if you really wanted to, but make no mistake, this is a Democratic spending bill with a little bit of flavor from the Republicans thrown in. So the White House, they're defending this. They're trying to spin it the best way they can. It's a bunch of BS, basically coming from the White House. Again, three small things, three small victories, but when you control the House, when you control the Senate, when you control the White House, and you have a guy in the Oval Office who is all about winning and is all about making the greatest, biggest, bestest deals ever, this isn't a win for the Republicans. On the flip side, let's look at health care. It's a disaster right now. The Republican replacement of ObamaCare is a complete disaster as Republicans, depending on when you watch this video, they are either 1 or 2 votes away from it going down in flames. Now Republicans, apparently, according to the Huffington Post and others, are floating a new amendment out that would reach out to centrists, and that it would, let me read here from the Huffington Post, leaders toying with an amendment that would add more funding for the high-risk coverage pools that states would set up to insure people with costly pre-existing conditions. So it would go to more, more money would go out to these, to these pools that would cover pre-existing conditions. Remember, one of the things that moderates don't like about the revised Obamacare plan or the GOP replacement of Obamacare plan is that states would be able to opt out of forcing insurance companies to cover pre-existing conditions. President Trump wants pre-existing conditions covered, so I'm not too sure how keen he is on the House GOP plan. Ashley Strong, a spokeswoman for House Speaker Paul Ryan, said, quote, obviously, some members are looking for changes, but we've not made any at this point, and we don't know that we will. However, they have not secured the votes to actually pass anything when it comes to a replacement on Obamacare. In fact, a congressman who had quite a bit to do with past plans to replace Obamacare or to repeal Obamacare, he pulled his support of doing this because he didn't want to leave anybody or that many people without health care. Listen, number one, this is not about health care. This is about health insurance, okay? No one's going to be left without health care. You can still walk into a medical facility. You can still walk into a hospital and get care. Nobody's going to throw you out of the hospital and say, you need to die in the streets. That was never happening in this country. What we're talking about is health insurance. And yes, there are going to be some people, even with people who are perfectly healthy right now, but may get sick in the future. Guess what? Some of those people, may opt out of having health insurance. This is why we want to get rid of the mandate. At the end of the day, I just don't know how much trust the average voter has in the Republican Party right now. I think it is deteriorating day by day by day. The longer that Congress does nothing to solve the Obamacare crisis, the longer Congress does nothing to stop the out-of-control spending, I think the worse it's going to be for Republican lawmakers. They have got to do something. They've got to get this right. And in my opinion, they've got to stop offering these Obamacare bills or replacement bills when they don't have the votes. Congress is, I think, expected to go on recess again on Thursday because they've been working so hard. What they need to do is maybe they do need to go on a recess. They need to go on a retreat. All Republicans need to be locked into a room somewhere. And so you're not leaving here until you guys come up with something that we can all agree on, or at least a majority of people can agree on, to replace Obamacare. Do that, and then we'll unlock the room and you guys can leave. I'm telling you right now, Republican lawmakers, you're looking foolish. And a lot of people are getting sick and tired of being told, we've got to wait, we've got to wait, we've got to wait longer. You are elected to do something. Now get it done. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on NewsTalk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO. You can follow me on Twitter, Chad Hasty Radio. Have a great day.